Thanks for joining us. This is Notepad. My name is Ibrahim Sani. We all know that the conversation of e-commerce is going to be a big deal when it comes to moving ahead in a post-pandemic environment. Because of this, we have on the line in Kuala Lumpur, Vidmay Naini, the Regional General Manager for Southeast Asia and India eBay of International CBT or cross-border trade. And of course, we want to explore some ideas of the fact that with close to two decades at the forefront of enabling India's e-commerce industry, Vidmay, who's joining us tonight, is currently responsible for leading eBay's businesses across Southeast Asia and the India region and driving retail exports from these markets through eBay's global marketplaces. Vidmay, thanks again for joining us. How are you?
Hey, thanks, Ibrahim, for having me on your show. I'm doing very well. Thank you.
Vidmay, can you tell us a little bit more about the Southeast Asia Small Online Business Trade Report that was issued by eBay very recently?
Yeah, thanks. The Southeast Asia Small Online Business Trade Report is an attempt by us to showcase to the world what SMEs within the region are capable of doing and how they can reach the world. Like you would see in the report, SMEs from Malaysia, close to 97.2% of the SMEs export to the world, and close to 81% of them export to more than 10 countries. And you have more than 50 to 60% of them are newcomers.
That 50 to 60% newcomers, is that something that is interesting normally, or is it a post-pandemic issue or a pre-pandemic issue? Which one is it?
See, especially cross-border trade for e-commerce is something that awareness is pretty low. So from that point of view, we would see a high degree of newcomers coming into our fold. For Malaysia, the percentage is 60%. In some cases, the percentage can be higher in the other regions of Southeast Asia. But from an overall point of view, you would have that range coming in approximately around 60% is where we would normally see newcomers coming in.
Okay. What significant findings can you share with us in the report that SMEs in Malaysia can actually leverage on?
So I think first and foremost, online e-commerce cross-border trade is the awareness is pretty low. So from this report, this will enable SMEs to understand that you can sell to the world. For example, eBay as a platform gives you market access to 190 countries. It enables you to have access to 142 million buyers. That's like 4.5 times the population of Malaysia. That's the enormity of the platform that we have. You can sell across multiple categories, and you have an infrastructure and ecosystem that eBay provides, be it on simple onboarding, as well as the overall shipping and logistics support, and as well as demand insights. What this report also tells you is what countries you can sell and what are the categories that you can sell and what are the top selling categories. For example, some of the top selling categories from Malaysia is auto parts, rims, tires, and trims. Then you have home and garden. You have health and beauty category. You have cell phones and accessories. And last but not the least is the collectibles category that sells pretty well from Malaysia.
In the report, it stated that Singapore and Malaysia were the leaders, so to speak, with 86% and 81% respectively reaching this export threshold. And of course, this export threshold respectively reaching 10 or more countries. How did eBay assist the SMEs to penetrate the global market?
Like you've seen in the report, Ibrahim, I think one of the most important aspect that eBay brings to the table is market access, right? Imagine an offline exporter exporting to 190 countries. As we mentioned in the report, 81% of SMEs from Malaysia export to 10 plus countries. And typically that number is pretty low from an online exporter's point of view. At this point of time, we give market access as well as buyers, which we have close to 142 million buyers. Actually, this is a huge market that is waiting to be exploited by the SMEs from Malaysia. What is important for us to do is to create awareness and create an ecosystem for Malaysian SMEs to sell to the world. Right now, if you look at the number of stats, less than 10% of Malaysian SMEs sell to the world. And we provide a platform that can enable them to reach to all the countries across the world. Yeah, and another important aspect is the cost. If you want to go offline and set up businesses in each of these markets, the cost involved was significant. Whereas an online platform like ours comes at a very, very relatively low or inexpensive cost.
What support in supply chain management does eBay have in assisting your clients, in assisting SMEs, not just in Malaysia, but everywhere else?
Yeah. See, I think what eBay provides is fourfold. One is the market access, like I mentioned before, in terms of 190 markets as well as 142 million buyers. What it also provides is the knowledge and know-how of what products to sell in which markets, and also the various price competitiveness insights on the demand side. The third aspect is on the entire supply chain piece that you mentioned, in terms of how to ship the product, what kind of courier companies to use, what kind of packaging to be done, and also what are the rules and regulations is something that eBay from time to time provides guidance on. And last but not the least is the entire business intelligence aspects of it, is to in terms of account management support, as well as enabling you to get the right product and the right pricing.
Vidmay, what sort of products or goods that Malaysian SMEs can consider when selling on eBay?
Right. So from an eBay's point of view, right, you can sell across more than 2000 plus categories. But the categories that are pretty popular for sellers and SMEs to sell from Malaysia are auto parts, specifically rims, tires, and wheels. Then you have home and garden. That's a big category for us. And also health and beauty products sell pretty well for us. Another interesting thing is the entire advent of collectible category that is coming in. Just to give you some stats, collectible category for us, especially singles trading cards, grew more than 109% in 2020 over 21. So that's a significant growth that we've seen. And various other categories that I just mentioned, for example, on auto parts, electronic ignition grew close to 76% over 21 over 20. So that's something that is very encouraging for us, and especially for SMEs in Malaysia. You can expand the business and also grow your business at a rapid pace.
Vidmay, the eBay Global 24/7 campaign does provide a range of benefits to new SME sellers. What type of support does eBay provide for these sellers?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, eBay provides an ecosystem for our sellers to sell to the world. eBay is an open marketplace. We thrive when our sellers are successful. So from that point of view, all our efforts, especially me and my team in Malaysia, would like to grow our sellers' business. For that, we provide a easy facilitation for onboarding. We provide account managers support. When I mean account management support, we have experts who understand your business and provide the right guidance in terms of what products and what pricings that you need to do. We provide significant demand insights in terms of what categories, what products, what price points that we suggest that you can sell on. Then we also look into the various aspects of what are the kind of shipping solutions that we can provide. And we have a CPaaS solution which enables and connects you to the various shipping platforms, including our partnership with DHL as well as FedEx, that enables you to ship across to the world. In addition to this, we provide a lot of subsidies for our small and business enterprise to the extent of $1,500, where we provide store credits, we provide free listing credits, as well as various enablement that will help you reach to the world through the eBay platform.
Okay. Vidmay will go for one short break. When we come back, we'll discuss a little bit more with Vidmay of eBay. Thanks again for staying on with us. On the line right now is Vidmay Naini, the Regional General Manager for Southeast Asia and India, eBay International CBT or cross-border trade. Vidmay, let's pick up where we left off. Tell us about the pre- and post-pandemic environment. How has things changed on how people and sellers and your clients use your platform?
eBay has been in a global market leader for the last 25 plus years. So from that point of view, pandemic has definitely accelerated the digitization of SMEs across the world, and eBay has also benefited out of it. One of the important factors that we've seen in the last couple of years is that e-commerce is not only become mainstream, but it's also become an integral part to succeed for businesses across the world, and specifically for Southeast Asia. We've seen, based on our reports, close to 40 million people going online in the last 2 years alone, out of which 70% of the folks who've gone online don't even own a laptop. So it's a mobile first revolution that we've seen in terms of digitization. And a lot of SMEs have now enabled their business to come online. What we want to enable and our endeavor is to push them to start exporting to the world and expand their markets from the current domestic markets to a global marketplace through a platform like eBay.
Right. How critical is it on the mobile revolution that we're speaking of right now? How has this item changed how SMEs do their business, particularly when we know that they have, perhaps even skipped, not just left, but skipped the whole laptop ecosystem and moved straight on to mobile? How has this changed in them doing their business?
I think mobile as a device has become the primary source of connection to your internet, right? So a lot of folks, especially in countries in Southeast Asia, probably never own a laptop. They own a mobile phone. And with the advent of mobile phone, it empowers folks and democratize e-commerce and internet for everybody across the spectrum, be it the socio-economic spectrum. So what we've seen is a lot of groups that were excluded from the online mainstream businesses, like for example, women entrepreneurs, the rural entrepreneurs, are now coming online thanks to the advent of internet and e-commerce. And we've seen sellers across the board, especially on our platform, sellers from remote parts of the country coming on board and becoming some of our top sellers and selling unique products from their region. So from that point of view, mobile has been a great enabler for us, as well as ensuring that it democratizes and provides access to a lot of society, as well as sections of the society that have not been beneficial with the internet and e-commerce revolution.
Vidmay, you touched on something interesting about the urban and rural divide. Do you feel that we're going to grow more, at least in the rural space? Would we see more SMEs from the rural areas joining the e-commerce revolution?
Yeah, see, as Ibrahim, as I mentioned before, uh, as long as we make it easy and we create awareness and market access, including helping with logistics and various other infrastructure that is required to complete the transaction through an e-commerce portal, I see more and more rural folks, as well as sections of the society that did not participate previously in business, would come online. You would see first-time entrepreneurs in families. You would see first-time women entrepreneurs coming in, and also you would see rural entrepreneurs coming in. That's a healthy sign for us, and these are the sections that as long as you're determined to succeed, we will increasingly see folks from these sections of society coming on board and participating in the e-commerce revolution. And we've seen many of our sellers coming on board and being very successful at that.
Well, we know that internet connection is going to be crucial for the e-commerce environment. Some areas in rural Malaysia are still suffering from slow internet or might not necessarily have proper internet connection. Do you feel that the impact on the e-commerce growth revolution in Malaysia is going to be hampered because of this environment?
See, what I can tell you is, for to become an eBay seller, you need a basic internet connection. This we have technology as well as we empower people to connect to the world. And from that point of view, as long as you have a basic internet connection for us, we should be able to onboard you as quickly as possible.
Okay. Right. Vidmay, one more short break. When we come back, we'll discuss a little bit more with Vidmay of eBay. Thanks for staying on with us. I have with me on the line Vidmay Naini, the Regional General Manager for Southeast Asia and India eBay CBT or cross-border trade. Vidmay, let's talk a little bit more about global trends instead of just about e-commerce. Where do you see global trends moving forward when it comes to the e-commerce revolution?
So I think from an SME perspective, right, SMEs are the backbone of any economy and establishment, right? If you have, particularly in Malaysia, 97.2% of all business establishments are SMEs. And also, if you look at SMEs, they contribute close to 38.2% of the our total GDP. So if you look at this particular trend, this is uniform across the world, where a large number of SMEs contribute to a great degree of GDP of the country. So, increasingly, with SMEs coming on board, you would find the barriers of country as well as language being broken through cross border trade. And eBay is playing an important part in bridging these folks across the world. So, like I mentioned before, we provide market access to 190 countries with 142 million buyers on our platform. The top level trend is that you can sell all over the world as long as you have a basic internet connection, a product to sell, and a determination to succeed. So from that point of view, e-commerce is here to stay, and increasingly across the world, you have everybody switching online and having a strong digital strategy for you to reach your consumer.
What then would be the challenge for SMEs around the world to achieving these kind of opportunities that we have right now?
So let me be very specific about SMEs within my region. So from a Southeast Asia, Malaysia perspective, I think the key things for us to solve is one is to create awareness. eBay works with various agencies, including the government, to ensure that we create awareness across the board to help SMEs understand and explore the cost-effective way to sell to the world. That's number one. Number two, how do you create policies as well as framework that enables sellers to sell across the world? For example, how do you simplify the entire customs processes? How do you simplify the returns management processes? How do you reduce documentation and digitize the entire process of exporting through a retail channel through a courier mode is an important aspect. The next aspect would be on how do you create cost effective, trackable, low cost shipping solutions that can take the e-commerce package from one end, for example, from Malaysia to US to UK, Germany, Europe. So it's very important that we create those infrastructure that helps build the supply chain for our SMEs to sell to the world. And last but not the least, how do you incentivize sellers to reach to multiple markets? Exports bring in forex for the country and also increases the balance of trade for most of the countries. So from that point of view, there are all inherent benefits if there's increased exports through SMEs through eBay for the country as well as for the economy.
All right, final word. Who would be the key stakeholders to ensure that this item can be pushed forward, do you think?
Yeah, the key stakeholders are folks who can enable the ease of exporting for SMBs across the markets, right? Right from the government who would enable the policy for ease of exporting and the ease of reimportation for return goods, the logistics players in providing the connections for Malaysia to the countries where we need to export and providing us a low cost trackable shipping solution, and last but not the least, various agencies, be it the export promotion councils or the partners who can create awareness and provide inputs onto what kind of support they can provide to enable SMBs across Malaysia to sell to the world.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Vidmay. That was Vidmay Naini, the Regional General Manager of eBay. Now, if you've missed any part of this conversation, just head on to astroawani.com. Look for eBay or look for Notepad. You can find plenty of conversations like this that can whet your appetite. My name is Ibrahim Sani. We continue to have this conversation in another day. Until then, thanks very much for watching. Catch you in the next one.